All right. And then you can pull that up and she's ready to go whenever she's ready.
Ready? Okay. I'm glad to be here this morning. As you probably know, all of you, because I talk about it all the time. I am really, really passionate about profit share. When I first heard about this company, the person who invited us to take a look at it was, we were at a Star Power conference with Howard Brenton, and I met Brad McKissick. And he did not tell me one thing about it. He just said, let me get somebody in touch with you that can tell you about Halloween. And that's all he said. And so that's the way I got started. And then the thing that really set the hook was we were invited to go to not a family reunion, but what is that, NSO? That's for people who are thinking about investing in Keller Williams or just want to know about it, I guess. Anyway, Mo Anderson was the speaker. And I tell you, that woman, she talked about culture. She talked about the way Keller Williams does their business, the Y4C2Ts, and she talked about profit sharing. Well, the Y4C2Ts was really important, but the culture of that was what got me so passionate about it. But then she said something about profit sharing. Well, I don't know about you, but Milton Parker and I have been in business for ourselves since I was 22 years old. Now, how much do you think we saved up for retirement? And it's not that we spent every dime because we just wanted to. It was because the business demanded that we couldn't do it that way. So, naturally, profit share was real important to me. So, we're going to talk about it in just a minute. And my goal today is to give you all the information you need to help this company, this market center, and especially yourself, make more money. Does that suit everybody? Is everybody interested in that kind of thing? Now, most of you know that I'm probably very pushy. I don't mean to be, but sometimes I really am. I don't mind expressing an opinion. So I want to tell you a little story first. A little girl dressed in her Sunday best was running as fast as she could, trying not to be late for Bible class. As she ran, she prayed, "Dear Lord, please don't let me be late. Dear Lord, please don't let me be late." While she was running and praying, she tripped on a curb and fell, getting her clothes dirty and tearing her dress. She got up, brushed herself off, and started running again. As she ran, she once again began to pray, "Dear Lord, please don't let me be late, but please don't shove me either." So that's what I think, that I am passionate about profit share, of course, passionate about Keller Williams all the way around, but I'm not going to shove you into thinking that you have to do profit sharing. I say it would be for your own good, but just know I don't mean to push you into anything. Okay, I am passionate about profit sharing, and I have 53 good reasons to be excited and passionate. Would you like to hear all 53,000 of them today?
No.
I don't think I can retain all that.
I'm pretty direct too. No.
Well, I want that. In this class, I want y'all to tell me what to do. And I'm going to just see without that deal. Now, how many read a book and start from the last chapter first? Anybody do that? There are a lot of people that do that. They want to know how it ends before they read the whole thing. And if they don't like it, they'll read the rest of the book. But today, turn to page 57 if you have a book. And if you don't, share with somebody. 57. And for those of you who don't have a book, I'm going to let somebody read that. You can read it.
I can read it.
Okay?
How much do you want? Profit share is an equal opportunity, unequal outcome program.
what could you do if you had 10 associates in your first level? How about 20? What would it do for you and your family? Remember what you said more profit can do for you? What could you do with passive long-term income with no personal investment? Would you enjoy checking your account and finding another automatic deposit from profit sharing? Are you ready to reap the rewards of a company that treats you like a partner?
Well, are you all ready for that?
Yeah.
Do you think Keller Williams came up with this idea out of the blue? What do you suppose caused Gary Keller and his company to come up with the idea of profit share?
I think he probably asked agents what they wanted, and maybe a lot of them were concerned, as I was, that when anybody elects clothing, you won't get more money.
Right. Very good, because that's exactly what happened. But how many have heard the Gary Keller story about what happened to him in his company? This was back in the 80s. If you haven't heard it, I'll just share it real quick. Gary lost. He had a nice company, and they were making some money, and he lost 7 of his best top producers to Reebok. Well, he realized right then something had to change. So he got his rest of his agents together, and what he called his core group, which was like our ALC, to help him understand what people needed. And what people wanted was 3 things, or 4 things. 1, they wanted a better commission split. 2, they wanted more say in the company and how it was run. 3, they wanted profit share, wanted to share profit. And I'm trying to remember the other one right off my head, but I can't do it. Anyway, that there were things that the agent said to Gary that they wanted. So they spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to get all these things for the agents. And what he said about it was, I want to have a company that everybody wants to come to and nobody wants to leave. Okay? So that's how he built the company. That's how he started building the company. Now, if we go out and talk to other agents about Keller Williams or individuals like Jennifer didn't know anything about Keller Williams to amount anything before you came. We need to realize that they have no idea what RKW is about. They have no idea, or they'd all be over here. Well, whose responsibility is to see that other agents and other people in all professions or whatever who might think in the back of their mind at some point in time, I might be interested in a career in real estate. What are we supposed to do about that?
Ask them to come to a class.
Ask them to come to the class? What else?
Tell Jennifer to come. Absolutely. It can be. That's what I was going to say.
Well, Jennifer will be happy to do that, but we, as agents, have a responsibility to get a person to her. And I've been there. I've been there. I hope we're not doing money this time. I've been there. I know what you go through as a team leader. We really, really need to get it together and say, I bet you I could bring some folks to Jennifer to talk to. Do you think it would be easier if that you came with a recommendation to Jennifer of somebody you had just done business with and you really, really liked them and you thought they would be a great Keller Williams agent? Is that agent going to be more open-minded to get a call from her saying, Sandra suggested that I call? Now tell me, is that better than her just calling out of the blue?
Yeah, absolutely. It really is. Any kind of warm handoff really does make a big difference. When I call and say, Sandra just had a transaction with you, and she said you were wonderful to work with. So she just suggested that I give you a call. And if you guys are talking it up and talking about these things out there, because we are really not a traditional real estate company.
Got that right. We really aren't. And that's the, and we're gonna get into that real serious. That's really the basis of this class today. What can we do as agents to bring people into the company? And for what reason do we want to bring other people into our company? Give me some reasons.
To grow our profit tree.
All right, what else?
To work the company.
For the company. What else?
To share
To help do a lot of things. If you care a lot about them, you will help them. I talked with 2 people on the way in this morning, and that's what the whole conversation was about.
So,
Friends, you know.
yeah, so let me see if I got that right. I want to do it for the company, because that makes the company grow. You want to do it for yourself, to build a profit share tree. You want to do it for something else, somebody said.
For the other agents.
For the other agent. And will it make a difference in does everybody see a win-win in that?
Yeah, sure.
So I'm saying, let's get on the bandwagon and start bringing people into this company that will grow our profit share. I'm just going to pass out these sheets right here on. This is our profit share, mine and Milton. And I tell you why Milton's involved. When we started the company back in 2003, we were owners. And so the owners were allowed to be in the profit share. They had to be sponsored. Well, Milton sponsored me. Brad McKissick sponsored Milton. I thought that was stable, but it wasn't. Here, see that in mine. Anyway, so look at the first one. And that's mine. This is this month's profit share. Okay? The first thing I want you to notice is the profit share today. See how much that is on the first page? The third line, $686 is to date. Okay? But look on the second page, and look at the bottom of that page. What's that figure?
How much you got this month?
So much I got this month.
Well, we're all underneath you.
Everybody hangs on here.
It is. But look at Milton's. Now, Milton didn't get as much as I did, but he got, look at his last page, $222. Okay? And little Susan got $31.24. Okay. So that's our profit share for the month. Jesse, how much did you get?
$30 per, right at $31.
Okay? You remember what you got?
I got $279.11, and Ron's staying at $64.09.
Okay, let me come back. Remind me to come back to you. Sandra, how much do you get back?
No.
Jennifer, I know you haven't got any yet.
No.
I don't think. Well, I know you haven't. Alan, how much did you get?
187.
Woo! That's wonderful. Now, I want to share something with you. Look, I'm going to get right back to you to, let me go with this first. Look at the sponsorship line.
Under you.
Yes, under million. And let's go up from there. So let's talk about, well, let's look at Milton's. That's more interesting. All right, Milton's sponsor is Bradley McKissick. Okay? Who sponsored Bradley? Linda. All right, has everybody heard of Linda McKissick?
Yes.
Okay. If you haven't heard of her yet, you're too new in the business to have heard of her. But she is one of the 7th level agents.
She's making big bucks.
And they make big, big money. Her husband, James P. McKissick, is sponsored her. I don't know who Carol Bonds is, but she sponsored Jimmy. And then under that is James Spencer, Wint, whatever. It's the LLC. And then Phil Hurley, who was sponsored by Georgia Hurley. And she's not living anymore. But guess what? She's still in the line of sponsorship and still getting money from this business and willed it to whoever. She willed it to the children or grandchildren or whatever. And the point is, this is not just something to talk about. It's something that you can get your hands around.
Linda McKissick at Mega Camp, she was on the panel, and I think she shared $35,000 that month.
That month.
That month. And that's
If I remember correctly, it was an astronomical number, but it was.
Well, the interesting thing about that is Jimmy gets some too. And there also is a company that is the McKissick Company, which is a separate thing that gets money too. I don't know how all that works, but at any rate, they make a lot of money in this business in profit share. But now they've been in something late, sometime in the 90s. So now here we have in our group, Ron. You want to talk about Ron just a minute?
Well, Ron passed away in December 2006, and I inherited his profit share, and he profit shares. Well, like when I'm on level 1, what I get for level 1, he gets level 2. My level 1 people are his level 2 people, like that. And so we profit share every month, and it goes right in my bank account.
Okay. What does that say to you?
That you can leave a legacy. You can leave it for the people that you love. Taking care of your people. I mean, that's what we all want to do ultimately. If we have children or you know, or spouses that we're gonna may leave behind.
Absolutely. So, what is it? How much do you want to leave for your legacy?
$35,000 a month.
I like your way of thinking.
I think we might need to start hopping in different cities.
Well, the thing of it is, Linda McKissick's been in the business since 1996, or whatever year, because I shouldn't have said 96, it's in the 90s. So she's been in a long time. So she's got a lot of profit share. Mike Brody, who was a RE/MAX agent, has not been in the business that long, because at a,
It was television.
right, he was with RE/MAX, and when, this has been several years ago, I went to the North Carolina, what is it?
NCAR convention.
Yeah. Thank you. And he spoke, and he was awesome. And he was just an old RE/MAX agent at the time. But somebody shared, the same way we're talking about sharing, share this business with him. The bigger the agent, the more they listen. Because how many dollars do you suppose he paid RE/MAX all those years?
A lot.
So how much do you think he made the difference in Keller Williams and RE/MAX?
But he made at least 5%, and then he paid a franchise fee of every dollar he made.
Right. So why would Keller Williams be better than that?
You
made
can get
100%.
And you get money from the phone.
Yeah.
When you profit.
Did I tell you how much he made?
No.
The year, and I can't remember the year, but it was in the recent years, $474,000 an annual
And profit share.
in profit share.
Well, do you remember when Mike used to go around and do some teaching, not to CE courses or something like that, but some training, I should say, not teaching, but training?
Yeah.
I mean, how smart was that? He knows everybody.
So why don't you all volunteer to go do little classes for other companies and we'll gather them all in that way. But he was smart. Have you ever heard of Mary Harper, who was a Remax agent?
Yeah. Texas.
Yeah. She was the same way that Mike Brody was. In fact, she and her family of 3 boys and a husband make more than Mike Brody. So you can make big money. Now, are you going to make it maybe in the first 2 years? Probably not. So what you want to do is get your tree started. Let me turn over here just a minute. Well, tell me something. What do you think passive income is? How can you earn passive income?
I said, no,
Anytime you get from just waking up in the morning,
Yeah.
you don't have to do anything, right?
And why is that?
But you build a foundation of getting profit from the company, rather than working for a company that the profit always others.
Right? What are other ways you can earn a passive income? Anybody?
Investment property,
Investment property.
stocks, bonds.
Stocks and bonds, rental property, profit share. Way profit share against rental property. Profit share,
no headaches.
no headaches.
It's actual passive income. Rental property is not necessarily passive.
It's passive as long as they don't come up and turn tax on it.
Right.
Somebody read page 5. Who's got the book? I could get some more print. Page 5. At the bottom. Why don't you read that? Here.
What you mean, start at top?
And Matt, right under where the picture is. His picture.
Okay.
I know.
We can share.
Share that one. I'll get you
I
one.
think I might have one. I'll go see.
All right. Let's. Yeah, you can get. Here it is up here, and you can print every one of these out if you want to. I like how a book is running. Okay, go ahead and read that.
Okay. Madison Offenhauser, Regional Director at California Southern and Operating Principal of multiple market centers, who received more than $75,000 in profit share. He also receives passive income from a couple of rental properties he owns. He points out the return from the rental properties hasn't been as high as profit share. And my profit share is much more passive these days. My profit share didn't require 20% down, and it was never called in the middle of the night because the toilets were clogged, he said to the lab. How much money would you have to have in the bank at 5% interest to make $75,000?
Anybody know that number?
Lunch.
Lunch. It's $1.5 million that you have to have in the bank to earn you at 5%, $75,000. But I don't think they're getting 5% right now, are they?
No.
Absolutely not.
Not at the bank. But this is based on the bank, and I knew the bank wasn't paying that much. They don't pay me that much. They don't have it in there. They don't pay so much.
They are homes.
So, the whole point is, why not work? Really think this thing through, get a plan together, and let's build you some profit share. If you, as a team, it would be wonderful to have a goal, all of us the same, that you are willing, and me, I'm willing, to learn this script, which we'll talk about later, and get some profit share, some people in here to talk to Jennifer. Now, as a team leader, which I was a team leader when I came back for a short period of time, and I was supposed to call 75% of my time to agents or recruiting. Well, they didn't want to talk to me. If I got on one time on the phone and they got my number, then I never could get them on the phone again. And the reason is there was no softening of it. Like Sandra, you talked to Jeff Boswell or somebody that you had a really good deal with, and he's kind and nice, and y'all worked out real well. If you take the time to build a relationship, in fact, the matter is, those little emails I sent you, the one for today was, what are the 3 R's to lead you to profit share? Who knows?
Relationship, one of them.
Yeah. What's the others? Refer. Okay. And you have to guess what the other one is, I can't remember. But it has to do with you getting somebody in front of Jennifer. Now, do you need to be explaining this profit share of this business to anyone? No. All you have to do is build a relationship with people you do business with. How hard is that? Shouldn't we be building those relationships if we didn't have profit share? We should. We should be building a relationship with all agents. So I think that's really important for us to remember that that's what we are supposed to do, regardless of profit share.
Who are the owners of the franchises around here? I really don't. I mean, I know a few, but I don't know.
Well, you need to know.
Right.
Did you share that?
Remax is owned by Shirley Morrison, a company that she is part of, and Junior Hardy, I think a lot of people call him JR, and Jason Harrell and this group. Prudential is Stanley, Cherry, Rudy and Bill Schulte, Pistol, Medline, Tension. And I believe that's it, Helen over there.
Yeah.
And,
Metro 21.
And you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. And Century 21.
Century 21 Elite, somebody was asking me about that the other day. I thought the Vanderfords still owned it. And somebody told me they thought Idlewild Sox owned it. I don't think so, but I'm not positive.
So you know
Century
Jesse
21, right?
I'm talking about Elite.
As far as I know.
The Vanderfords are the only ones that own it. But somebody was telling me that Idlewild, they thought Idlewild owned it. But it may be, but I don't know.
Into it. That's
But, and then the, Century 21 Realty Group is, Elaine Anderson and, Butts up there. Yeah, Butts. There used to be other owners there, but they switched around quite a bit. But I think that's who is one of the, who else? I mean, who else?
Well, you know.
Mike Aldridge, Aldridge and Sutherland, that's Mike Aldridge, Jeff Aldridge, and Don Sutherland.
So they're the only ones that profit from that company.
As far as I know. Mike's daughter is a paid employee now.
Which
Jordan.
All right, that's a good question, Simon. So I can tell you firsthand that Conley Branch did not share profit with me, nor did he share with you. Anybody else? You didn't ever work for Conley
I can pretty sure Realty World, Lee Russell did charity.
Okay,
Oh, that's why we forgot them. So that's just,
Yes, David
Rocky,
from Rocky.
okay.
Branch.
Just that.
Tell me.
You know we forgot somebody. Oh, Homer. How
Um,
much profit do you expect Homer shares with anybody in his company? Zero. But that's the way real estate's done.
But they think that they share.
Well,
But people sometimes will choose a company like that instead of a company. And I think it's because they don't totally get it.
Yeah.
But I may be wrong, but sometimes they choose if they got a different hot button maybe than I've got. I don't know. It didn't make sense to me.
I had another sheet I wanted to give you all. Let's see. Yeah, let's talk about, answer this question for me. Can you sponsor someone in another city
Yes.
and add them to your profit share, please?
Yes.
I've got one in Fort Mill, South Carolina, it's in my first line.
And that makes her in my,
You can explain how that works.
yes, I'm gonna do my best. I can pretty much explain that. Jesse could probably tell you how I
You got somebody in Missouri?
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, let's explain that, because I think that's really good. And my sheet can show you pretty definitely a different story maybe than a lot of people. Milton and I started this company in 2003. Things changed in 2004, and I won't get into it, but it wasn't a pleasant thing in the world. But I did do some other things when I was not with the company. First of all, you'll see at the top, Cheryl Powell in Wilmington, she's 9. What does VR mean? Anybody know what? Vested retired. Cheryl Powell is vested retired and still makes money in Keller Williams. Jesse Allen, look at Jesse. Look. You got one? Yeah. Okay. Pat Chappell used to be with our company. She's vested retired. Paul Randolph, vested retired. Deborah Randolph, vested retired. And the next guy is from Raleigh. He's in my organization. Go down to Laurie P. Yager in Missouri.
What page do you want?
First page.
Oh, I don't have that.
You don't have that page. I thought I had it. I hope it is. I'm gonna have to sit with it. Maybe you can share something.
I'll share it now.
I'm walking all around now. Here. Okay. Don't you remember Laurie? Yeah. She left here 2004 or 5 and moved to Missouri and worked with 621 for a while. She came back to Keller Williams. And that's why you see her. She's still in our line of sponsorship, so we're still making money there on profit share. The second page is Robert Maneria, or whatever his name is. He's from Orlando, Florida. Let me tell you how I met him. Now, I'm not in, Jesse laughs at me. I'm not in, at this time, that I sponsored this fella, I was not in Keller Williams. But I knew Keller Williams was the right company for anybody I talked to. So I talked to Marnie Kay, who's the person in his line of sponsorship. She was moving to Orlando, Florida, and this was her boyfriend. So I talked to her about Keller Williams. When she got down to Orlando, she got sponsored. Her boyfriend was sponsored, and then he sponsored her. I get a lot of my profit share from Orlando, Florida. The next one is Ron Kukowski. Anybody, you remember him, Judy?
Oh, yeah.
He started with us here in Greenville. He moved to the mountains and opened a business center which is attached to Asheville. And I know none of these people. Ron Hardy and Judy were owners in the Keller Williams then, okay? So he was allowed to sponsor Judy. Then everybody else under there is in our group. All right? Now, go to the third page, and this is Penny Simpson. Doesn't she work at Lake Norman in Mooresville?
She was Fort Mill, South Carolina.
Okay, that's close.
She's been our agent for me.
Yeah, she worked for Judy when she was here. So you see, you do not have to. How many people know the continuing ed? If you don't tell them.
Don't raise your hand.
Do you meet good people when you go to continuing ed? Can you build a relationship with any of those people? And why would you want to do that? There's 2 reasons.
Well, get referrals from them.
Get referrals. Can you build a relationship by getting referrals to somebody?
Absolutely.
I got so scared last time that they won't say to anybody I met Conley's first wife. After that, I was like, I don't know what else to say now.
Well, I guarantee you she wouldn't go to work for you. Less comments on it. He did do a good job with that. Okay.
Haven't you been to, and a lot of the people you sponsor, you met out in training events and conventions and stuff, because people are in a different mindset when they're attending those events than they are when they're working their day-to-day business. And I think they're open-minded to listen at least.
Absolutely. Okay, I want to pass out another sheet that give us something to talk about. These are two sheets. One of them is mine, one of them is Milton's. And we share this. I got an extra sheet there somewhere. Okay. You good? Okay. Here you go. All right. Let's look at this sheet. This is my profit share since the beginning. 2004. $14.57 was my first profit share check. I was still at Keller Williams at that point in time. The next time we got it, it was $53 and so forth and so on. I left in October of that year. So you see how, on the right-hand side, you see how it grew. Of course, we had some lean years in there, so it didn't do quite as well. But look up on the left side, and you see May last month and 12 months ago. You see that? And it shows different levels. It shows the 7 levels on the left-hand side of the sheet. All right, go to level 1 and look across to last month. What does that say? 8. That's how many people I have first line, my first line, at this point in time. Okay. Let me show you what that could turn into if I had a few more people. Okay. Let me ask you a question. How many dollars would you like to see yourself making in 10 years in profit share?
$5,000.
I don't know. You're reading
That's
something.
I feel
Yeah, I can see that.
I'm dealing with nothing, so I can see.
Okay, read this for me, Belinda. And
Read this profit sharing bonds.
pass that down. You got one? Okay, read that for us.
Okay, Helen Parker, you want $5,000 monthly in passive income. This is an outstanding goal in the Keller Williams Rules Profit Share System. Others have achieved this goal, and you can too. Those who have achieved a goal like yours have average first line of 15, average total tree count of 1106. Time to build the tree is 10 years and 4 months.
Does everybody expect that they're going to continue to do real estate for the next 10 years? Maybe not.
Probably not.
Are you still, you don't know, you're going to leave a whole lot if you do and keep building. But the point is, it takes quite a while to build your team of profit share. But you can build it, and you can set a goal to make a certain amount. That gives you an idea of what you've got to have to get it done. Okay, let me see if there was another question here. So we know we don't have to stay in our own city. We can sponsor people otherwise. Here's a good question. Do I get profit share if that associate you sponsor caps? What's the answer on that? No, you do not. That's true. If there's no money coming in from them having made a sale because they're already capped, then you don't get anything. But it's a good, I mean, you get a lot before the cap if you're helping the market center be profitable. How many associates can name me as their sponsor? Do you know how many you got that have named you as a sponsor? Okay.
Zero.
Zero. Yes. We got to do something about that.
That's right. She's
Um,
working on it. She's been inviting and connecting.
yeah, she is. By the way, I have to tell a story on Nancy. And no, I don't mean to be telling everything. But we were in the doctor's office the other day, and Milton always talks to everybody sitting there. And so across the way was a lady, and they got in conversation, and they were from Hamilton. I said, well, do you know Nancy Winslow? She said, everybody knows Nancy Winslow. She's so wonderful. So that was a nice comment.
That was nice to hear. I appreciate it.
We appreciate you being with us. So, in fact, the matter is, let's ask Nancy, why did you come to Keller Williams?
I went to Williamston to work with a local agent there, and she said, I don't have time to help you, and I don't really have anywhere for you to work, but you're welcome to work here, and I'll do what I can, but if you have a question, I'm really probably not going to be here to answer. I suggest you go with a bigger company that has a training program. And that was the first I'd ever heard of even a training program. And she said, you should go to Keller Williams. And so she gave me Judy's number.
Wow. So we are getting a good reputation. Is that right? Great reputation. All right, let me ask you. We talked about what VR means. It means vested, retired. Tell me, well, I'll ask the question first. Vested retired means you have been with a company for 3 years and 1 day. You don't have to, from then on, every bit of profit share you get, whether you're here or there or you're not here anymore. I'm talking about that this person going to a better place. So, in 3 years, it only takes you 3 years to get in a position where you've got profit sharing coming in. Does that mean you've got to stop sponsoring people? No. Because I've invested since 2004. 2004, 2005. I've invested that long, but I'm still sponsoring people. I want to build that thing up to 15 so I can get at least $5,000.
That's one of the biggest misconceptions in Greenville, is because people here from the past have not explained that. And I did not even know that until I was here a year, that a lot of people and a lot of agents and other companies that I've talked to, they have been led to think that you have to be here 3 years before you ever even get any profit share. And I even thought that up until I was here a year. And I don't know how that's got misconstrued down the way, but that's really something we got to work on, because there's a lot of agents that I've talked to, that's the way it was explained to them, where they took it that that's the way.
Yeah.
Another big misconception is that the profit share comes from the agent's commission. You know, the agent gets less if you profit share from them. That's a real big misconception.
Who can tell me that those two things are wrong? Who can tell me? Can you tell me?
What?
The two things that we just mentioned, having to be here 3 years before your...
Yes, they're wrong. Both are wrong.
Absolutely. And why, tell me why you say that.
Because the money comes from company dollar contributed to what they call below the line, which is after all expenses are paid, profits below the line. 48% of that is divided up to go back to the associates via sponsorship, and it's done the day somebody I got profit share from your first closed transaction. So
Yeah.
it's immediate.
That's right. You can make profit share if you've been here a month and you sponsored somebody in that month, and the next month the company was profitable, and your person you sponsored contributed to that by having a sale. Bowen, do you know you can get profit share that month? Your second month in the business. if you sponsor somebody who sells something and the market center makes profit share, then that money is figured with a factor in there of how much you would actually get. The point is, you don't wait 3 years to get any money. You get money when you get somebody in this business that wants it, like Nancy Winslow wants it. Excuse me, Nancy. I pick on her all the time, but she has done a fantastic job. And her sponsor is Judy. So do you appreciate that, Judy?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I appreciate the name me as her sponsor. And I appreciate her very much.
It does. It does, and you're going to pay your 30. The second half of that, you're going to pay your 30% company dollar until you cap, no matter what. What the profit share hinges on is if the market center is full.
Okay. So.
And if it's profitable over a period of time, which we haven't done, because we want everybody to profit share, but you know, there's something called a loss carry forward. So if you have loss months, you carry that loss forward, and that can affect profit share as well. But we've chosen not to carry the losses forward so everybody can profit share.
Thank you very much. The ownership of this company, you are the majority owner. Tell us who else is the owner.
I would like to do that too.
Okay, Wayne Hankins, who was here yesterday, he's from Chapel Hill, and he owns 10%. And Maggie LeBlanc, who is at Charleston, West Ashley, she owns 10%. Alan owns 20%. And I forgot how much I own, 40 plus.
She owns the rest of it, as far as I know.
No, we still have some in our treasury.
Oh, okay. Good. So but you own a good amount. That's great.
But they're all the people involved.
The
Judy,
ownership.
Alan, Wayne, and that other lady.
Maggie.
Meg. Those 4 people.
And Judy. Yeah. So that's your ownership. And the goal of the ownership is to get this market center profitable so they can pay us profit share every month. And thank you for carrying that loss carry forward.
I appreciate that too.
And what it means is that when there's a loss, the owners take the loss. When there's a profit, the agents share the profit. It's basically what it means to right now.
That's right. It means you don't have any other
We
risk.
take the whole loss, the owners do.
Yeah, that was
We
a
chose
point.
to do that.
That was a point I wanted to. I'm not getting very far along this, Julie. But I wanted to mention that. That as a stakeholder in this company, you don't have any financial risk, you don't have any legal risk. I can never remember the third thing. But anyway, you don't have nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with the loss, anything like that. All they do is when you make a sale and the company's profitable, then your sponsor is going to receive profit share. So, what do you think of that? Does that kind of explain it? One other thing that's a misconception, and Judy touched on it. What was that that you want to touch on again about the money? What people, other agents out there think is the profit
They
share?
think if I sponsor someone that, and I profit share off them, it's gonna come from their commission. And it comes from the company dollar. Does not, they get the same commission, no matter what.
So, the profit share of the company, there's no, none of it comes from you. None of it. The only thing you can do is make profit for the company and have brought someone into the business. Why do you want to bring somebody into the business anyway, into California?
Well, even if they're not even direct downline, when you increase the earnings of the company, you're going to increase the profit share that you get on anybody because whatever percentage they contribute is a larger amount, so it goes up. For example, on my check, if we had been more profitable just on the ones I have, I would have made more money.
Yeah.
So it's good for me to see people come in, whether they're in my downline or where they are, because it increases the profit of the company.
Everybody understand that?
Mhm.
Now, what does that do to your office? Anybody?
I think it builds the team aspect.
Right.
I mean, everybody's, I think we're happy for each other when we're making sales because it only helps all of us.
With the culture of the company.
It's part of the culture, exactly.
So when Sandra sponsors somebody that makes a sale, well, let's say Sandra sponsors somebody, and that somebody comes to Belinda and says, Belinda, Sandra's not here today, but can I ask you a question? I need a little help on something. What's going to happen?
She's gonna help her.
Belinda's going to help her. She probably would do it regardless.
Every time. Every time.
For any reason. But because we're a team, people are more willing to help each other. And I think that's what is part of our culture. We're a family. We're not just agents. We're a family. So we need a bigger family. So, all right. Any questions you can think of right this minute? Let's go to page 9. I'll move fast here. All right. Let's look back at our sponsorship. All right. Let's say this is you. Who is your sponsor? Somebody. Judy. Judy's Nancy's sponsor. Okay. All right. Well, would you like to know who sponsored Judy and so forth and so on? Let's look at my shoes, and you can tell that. So Milton, let's look at the dotted lines, or upline. Milton's sponsor was Bradley McKissick. See that on your sheet? Linda McKissick sponsored Brad. James McKissick sponsored Linda, his wife. Carol Bond sponsored Jimmy. And Mr. Wint, or whatever, sponsored Carol. And Phil Hurley sponsored, that's the 7 levels, sponsored James Spencer. Okay? Now, how many of you knew that? Most people don't know who sponsored everybody before you got into business. So, not that that's important to know, but I do need to share with you that you are in the people who sponsored Milton and our office are the top leaders in the business.
Can I say something about your sponsorship of me?
Yes.
Okay, when I came to the company, Helen advised me to let Ron sponsor me. Now, Helen would have made more money if she sponsored me directly, but that's not the advice she gave me. And she gave me the right advice, and I've never forgotten it because I didn't know any better, and I didn't know any better for a long time, to tell you the truth, because it wasn't the real reason I came here. I came here because of the culture, but I realized you could have done it different, would have benefited you, but you did it in a way that benefited me.
And the reason you do things like that when you're with this company is because it's the right thing to do. Now, if she and Ron had not been owners, we couldn't do that. Unless it's a husband and wife, like Alan can sponsor Tammy. I mean, they're a family, but he can sponsor her. Because, well, they're owners too. Who else is in here? There's not another team in here of husband and wife. But anyway. But that's important to know who your upline is, because when you go to convention and family reunion, your sponsors on that stage all the time. Then Jimmy Smith, the Kissick. You'll see them there. And the rest of them, I wouldn't know, give it all. But you got a wonderful about a sponsorship. Linda told me one time, she said, you want me to come to the Market Center on Tuesday? I wouldn't that be so? Everybody in town would probably want to come and see Linda McKissick. The ones who know, going to NCAR and all those conventions, they're there. And they would be recognized. So,
She was one of the 100 that was interviewed for the MREA.
yes, she sure was. I forgot that.
Everybody knew that or not.
So, first thing you need to do is focus on your first level, okay? Those are the ones that are going to be beneficial to you the most, because you're going to get 50% of the profit that the person you sponsored made for the company. There's a factor built in there, so, but I'm not going to get into all that. Just say 50%. So if Jesse sold something and his profit to the company that month totaled $5,000, which I wish it would, Jesse,
Yeah.
I would get 50% of whatever the amount it factored in. That doesn't mean I'd get $2,500, but I'd probably get 1,000.
Is it first level?
Yeah, first level.
12.5%.
First level is 50. Jesse, I would get 50%. You didn't know that? Look at it, page 25. Now, there's a factor built into it.
That's what I'm saying. When you look at the dollars, it's 12.5%.
I mean, that may be right. Anyway, it says 50% in the book anyway. But there's a factor there that makes a difference in how much profit did we make? $8,000? If then the 8,000, well, let's get it too tight. Don't worry about it. You're going to get your money.
I think it isn't that, it's whatever percentage he makes of the total company profit, that's the factor, I think.
That's right.
That's exactly how
Not the
it is.
5,000, but
Yeah,
after the
the percentage of
percentage comes out.
You have to get the percentage of his portion. If the profit was 8,000 and he did 1,000, that would be what? What percent is that?
20%.
And that would give you your factor. And then I would get 50%.
It
It's
takes a
complicated.
computer to fill it, to figure it out.
Absolutely, I can't do it. My mind wouldn't go that far. All right. Here at the bottom of page 19, it tells you what we were just talking about. The market center calculates profit. The market center splits the profit between the owners and the agents. The profit share factor is calculated, and that's the amount that Jesse would have done times the total amount, or divided by, I can't remember which. Anyway, it produces a factor, and then the profit share is dispersed. That's the way that works. Okay. Let me see what else we got. Y'all have some questions I could answer for you? Look on page 23, that tells you what I was just trying
I
to
want you
say.
to go over the scripts.
Okay, we're going over that. Just 1 minute next. Look on page 23, that explains it lots better than I could. In the number 3, the profit share factor is calculated for each market center. Now, how do they do that when I'm getting profit from all different areas? I don't know how they do it, but anyway, it works. All right. So, let's see if I can find the page for the script. Let's look at page 29 first. Do you want to attend to the opportunity and help grow the company? What is the suggestion you do? Build a relationship? Look down there, it says, first of all, you got to relate to somebody that you can invite them eventually to talk to Jennifer. You refer them to Jennifer so she can do the recruiting. So the next page, I think, the next couple pages talks about, script. Okay, let's look on page 37. That's the script at the bottom of the page. Sandra, you want to read that? Page 30? Oh, you don't know the book. What page? 37. Who's got a book?
Me.
Okay, read that. That's script.
Hi, Helen. This is your good friend, Nancy Winslow. It's so much fun doing that transaction with you. I really like the way you handled it. Helen, can you go meet me for coffee next Tuesday? I just want to get to know you better. I have a small gift of appreciation I'd like to give you. Is that okay? How about Tuesday at 2?
All right. Now, do you think somebody refused to go to lunch with you? Because you're bringing a gift. Now, what kind of gift would you bring?
Coffee.
A lot of times, this is $12, I think, $12. And you suggest in the script on page 39, you go on with some scripts, different things you can say. But one of the things you can say is, I wanted to share this book with you because this is a book about millionaire real estate agents. And there's lots of good information. And then there's this other book that you could give them instead, is Shift. Now, Shift probably doesn't mean as much as it did when the market was going down, but it's still very important now. And you might suggest page 71, and it talks about how to do an open house. Would that be helpful to another agent? And then you just keep building that relationship and talking to them and getting them to, you ask them if you could get Jennifer to give them a call and get more information about you. Okay. Anything else you can think of?
That script is about the, telling them about profit sharing.
I'm sorry, say it again.
Telling them about profit sharing or asking them to join Keller Williams. Which script is about?
Well, the script, the profit sharing, I don't think there's a script in there right now. It's suggested that we don't mention that too much because even Jennifer, I don't imagine you mention it much because it's confusing to somebody that doesn't understand it. Jesse got in and he had no idea what profit sharing was.
So what are you supposed to do? Get them to just join Keller Williams?
No, your responsibility is to get an appointment with Jennifer.
And so what am I getting the appointment for? To become an agent with Keller Williams?
Yeah.
Or what?
Somebody
more about Keller Williams? Somewhere more.
I mean, they don't, the point is, your job is to relate to them and refer them and let her recruit.
Okay.
So it's not hard. Just make a friend.
Connect and invite.
Connect and invite. That's good. Okay. Now here's what I wouldn't say, except maybe one person. Mary, when we finished our closing, I would really like to invite my agents. I usually like to invite my agents out to lunch. But in your case, since you have been in the business for so long and haven't learned how to do it yet, I think it would be helpful for you if you come to our new agent basic training. I can save you a spot for being next in night class. Can you come? Now, would that be very nice? It'd be true, but not very nice. But the thing is, you have to treat, your agents with great respect. Don't ever say what I just said. Even though in the back of your mind you might think you will say that. Is there are there any questions that you can think of? There are good scripts on page 45. Just ask if your team leader to follow up on page 49. Here's some more script that has to do with that. My team leader is just the best there is. I would love for you to meet him or her.
Yeah, use that one. I like that.
Yeah. We need to practice on our scripts and that kind of thing. So maybe we can start doing some of that.
Well, we do a scripts call every morning.
Yeah.
From 8:30 to 9. There's a conference call. I sent out the bridge. I'll send it out again. We can practice any scripts you want.
Yep. And they're good. We didn't get
Sonya's on every morning. Tina's on most mornings. She's not feeling well today. So.
Okay, so what do we need to do to get somebody in here? What's the first thing we do?
Build a relationship.
Build a relationship. So we can do what? Referral
To
to the judge. Relate, refer, recruit. Okay? So, that gets us back to page 57. So, what could you do if you had 10 associates in your first level? How about 20? What would it do for you and your family if you had, well, what would an extra $5,000 a month mean to you if you?
500. What would an extra $20 mean to me at this point?
Well, that's very possible pretty quick. But if you think long term,
Sure.
profit share is just a way to secure your future. It doesn't, but do you need to wait until it's not made for a retirement program, really. You don't have to wait till you retire to get it. You get it now if you've done the work. That's one of the things Jesse didn't understand. He didn't realize you could get it now. So, remember what you said more profit could do for you. What could it do for you? An extra $1,000 a month, what could that do for you? You can start a college fund. And there are many people in the business who have sent their children through college from their profit share check. Or got them in a special program that would cost extra money for them to go to out of their profit share check. Do you need a new car? You can buy a car when you get your profit share up enough that it would make the payment. There are a lot of things you can do with this profit share that would make your life a little easier. So,
we just think about how many agents you'd be working with that you would have to do.
that's right.
I mean, it would happen the first year, obviously, but.
This kind of reminds me of profit share. There were 3 boys in the schoolyard bragging about their fathers. The first boy says, my dad scribbles a few words on a piece of paper. He calls it a poem, and they give him $50. The second boy says, that's nothing. My dad scribbles a few words on a piece of paper. He calls it a song, and they give him $100. The third boy says, I got you beat. My dad scribbles a few words on a piece of paper. He calls it a sermon, and it takes 8 people to collect all of that. So that's what your profit share is about. It takes a lot of people to make enough money for us to have profit share, and everybody wins. Any questions? I'll probably put some in your mind, you just can't think of all of them. But anyway, I appreciate you letting me talk about profit share. I know you can tell that that's my passion, and I would like to see all of you. I'd like to see all of you check me $1,000. So, can we go to work on that?
Yes.
We will. We'll keep practicing skills. Y'all have a good day, and I hope you enjoyed that.
Thank you, Helen.
Thanks, Helen.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. If I left anything out,
No.